Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Om Swastiastu. Salam kebajikan, namo buddhaya, salam sejahtera untuk kita semua. Hello everyone, let me introduce myself. My name is Muhamad Nova. I'm one of the English lecturer in Tour and Travel Study Program Tourism Department Politeknik Negeri Bali. Halo, perkenalkan, nama saya Muhammad Nova. Saya adalah seorang dosen bahasa Inggris di program studi Usaha Perjalanan Wisata, jurusan Pariwisata, Politeknik Negeri Bali. Pada kesempatan ini, saya diminta dan ditugaskan untuk mengampu mata kuliah English for Tour Operations. Jadi, English for Tour Operations merupakan salah satu mata kuliah keahlian yang wajib ditempuh oleh para mahasiswa di program studi Usaha Perjalanan Wisata, jurusan Pariwisata Politeknik Negeri Bali. Pada mata kuliah ini, para mahasiswa akan belajar tentang prinsip-prinsip dan juga teknik dalam berkomunikasi baik secara lisan maupun tulisan dengan menggunakan bahasa Inggris di bidang pariwisata, khususnya di bidang tour operations. Mahasiswa belajar ragam ungkapan bahasa Inggris seperti menyapa atau greeting, perkenalan, introductions, menawarkan bantuan atau offering assistance, memberikan rekomendasi destinasi wisata atau giving tourism destination recommendations, memberikan penjelasan paket wisata atau explaining tour package, mempromosikan paket wisata atau promoting tour package, menjelaskan ragam transportasi wisata atau explaining transportation and travel, memberikan penjelasan terkait regulasi berwisata atau explaining tour policy, memberikan informasi lokasi, fasilitas, dan atraksi di daerah berwisata atau providing information on tourism sites, dan juga menangani reservasi paket wisata atau handling tour reservations. Dan di akhir perkuliahan, mahasiswa diharapkan mampu untuk menganalisis prinsip dan teknik berkomunikasi baik secara lisan maupun tulisan, menggunakan bahasa Inggris, dan juga mampu untuk menunjukkan keterampilan dalam berkomunikasi dalam bahasa Inggris tingkat menengah di bidang pariwisata khususnya tour operations. Oleh karenanya, dalam pembelajaran English for Tour Operations terdapat 8 sub CPMK yang akan dipelajari oleh mahasiswa. Sub CPMK yang pertama yaitu mahasiswa mampu menggunakan ragam ungkapan bahasa Inggris dalam menyapa, berkenalan, dan juga menawarkan bantuan secara formal. Dan untuk sub CPMK kedua, mahasiswa mampu menggunakan ragam ungkapan bahasa Inggris dalam memberikan rekomendasi destinasi wisata. Kemudian di sub CPMK ketiga, mahasiswa mampu untuk menggunakan ragam ungkapan bahasa Inggris dalam memberikan penjelasan paket wisata. Di sub CPMK yang keempat, mahasiswa mampu menelaah ragam ungkapan bahasa Inggris dalam mempromosikan paket wisata. Di sub CPMK yang kelima, mahasiswa mampu menggunakan ragam bahasa Inggris dalam memberikan penjelasan terkait transportasi wisata. Di sub CPMK yang keenam, mahasiswa mampu menggunakan ragam ungkapan bahasa Inggris dalam memberikan penjelasan terkait regulasi berwisata. Di sub CPMK yang ketujuh, mahasiswa mampu menggunakan ragam ungkapan bahasa Inggris dalam memberikan informasi, lokasi, fasilitas, dan atraksi di daerah pariwisata. Dan di sub CPMK ke-8, mahasiswa mampu menyusun teks percakapan dengan ungkapan bahasa Inggris dalam menangani reservasi paket wisata. Pada semester ini, mata kuliah English for Tour Operations diterapkan dengan menggunakan sistem pembelajaran luring atau tatap muka secara langsung di dalam kelas. Jadi di dalam kegiatan pembelajarannya, saya menerapkan pendekatan student-centered learning di mana para mahasiswa terlibat aktif dalam mengaplikasikan dan juga menggunakan ragam ungkapan bahasa Inggris yang telah mereka pelajari di dalam kelas, serta memberikan contoh-contoh nyata dari ragam ungkapan bahasa Inggris yang pernah mereka ketahui atau yang pernah mereka alami baik di dalam kelas, di industri, ataupun juga di dalam kehidupan sehari-hari. Dan di dalam pengaplikasiannya, terutama dalam pembelajaran di dalam kelas, saya menggunakan beberapa model pembelajaran yang diterapkan di dalam kelas itu seperti small group discussions, kemudian role play and simulations, kemudian contextual instructions, dan juga case-based learning. Dan untuk pelaksanaan penilaian atau assessment, nilai mahasiswa tersebut saya bagi menjadi 4 aspek dasar. Yang pertama adalah nilai keseharian di dalam kelas. Jadi di mana mahasiswa itu saya nilai dalam bentuk tes tulis dan juga tes lisan melalui diskusi atau tanya jawab serta kuis daring di akhir pembelajaran. Kemudian ada nilai tugas yang kedua, dan yang ketiga ada nilai ujian tengah semester atau UTS, dan yang keempat adalah nilai ujian akhir semester atau nilai UAS. Dan untuk proses penilaian di dalam kelas, saya biasanya menggunakan beberapa aplikasi-aplikasi luring seperti Quizzes, Wordwall, ataupun juga Google Form. Dan pada video pembelajaran kali ini, saya akan membawakan sebuah materi perkuliahan terkait dengan Explaining Travel Policy, di mana materi ini bertujuan untuk mengasah kemampuan mahasiswa dalam berkomunikasi dan menggunakan bahasa Inggris baik secara lisan maupun tulisan dalam menjelaskan regulasi berwisata di daerah pariwisata maupun pada destinasi-destinasi wisata lainnya, sehingga mahasiswa memiliki bekal sebelum mereka menuju ke dunia industri ataupun dunia kerja yang profesional. Adapun indikator penilaian yang akan dinilai, yang pertama adalah ketepatan memberikan contoh regulasi berwisata dalam bahasa Inggris, kemudian ketepatan menggunakan ragam ungkapan bahasa Inggris dalam memberikan penjelasan terkait regulasi berwisata, dan yang ketiga adalah ketepatan menunjukkan sikap tanggung jawab dalam penyelesaian tugas. Baik, terima kasih dan selamat menyaksikan. Alright, good afternoon everyone.
Good afternoon.
How are you today?
Good.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm really happy to see you again and welcome back to our class in English for Tour Operations. But before we start our learning for today, I would like to check your attendance first, yeah? Okay, so Louis?
Present, sir.
Okay, Fazan?
Present, sir.
Abin?
Present, sir.
Arya?
Present, sir.
Tasya?
Present, sir.
Yuna?
Present, sir.
Ervita?
Present.
Surya? Permissions, okay. Fonsi?
Present, sir.
Dwi?
Present, sir.
Yano?
Present, sir.
April?
Present, sir.
Alfanto?
Present, sir.
Via?
Present, sir.
Desu?
Present, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. And before we start our lesson for today, let's pray together. Who wants to lead the prayer? Maybe Via can lead the prayer, please.
Okay, stand up, please. Before we start our lesson today, let's pray together. Pray begin. Pray finish.
Okay. Alright, so before we discuss our next topic, I would like to review some our previous learning. Do you still remember? Last week, we have discussed about the transportations and also travel in tour operations. Can anybody mention some vehicles of transportations? Raise your hand.
Train.
Bus, good.
Bike.
Train,
Bike.
bike,
Plane.
train, ship, car. Okay, many of you still remember, yeah? So it is very important for you to study about the types of transportations, because who knows that in the future you would like to open your own travel agency. You have already known about the types of vehicles used in transportations and also travel operations. And for today, we are going to discuss about travel policy in tourism destinations. Can anybody tell me what is the bahasa Indonesia of travel policy? Travel perjalanan, kebijakan perjalanan atau iya, kebijakan perjalanan atau kebijakan berwisata di daerah atau destinasi wisata. Nah, in this learning, the learning objectives is the students are able to use English expressions in explaining the travel policy. As we know that whenever we are going to go or invite or join any tourist group for vacations, we need to realize there are some regulations occurs in tourism destination. Can you give me some example about the tourism destinations? What are they? Beach, good. Mountain, museum, culture park, zoo, lake. Okay, that's good. So every tourism destination has their own travel policy or regulations. And I have some video for you, and I would like you to observe and discuss about this video.
A woman causes a frenzy after climbing into a lion exhibit in New York. The video you see here shows the woman standing what appears to be just feet away from the animal. Officials at the Bronx Zoo say the woman climbed over a visitor safety barrier, then came face to face with the African lion, at times raising her arms and wiggling her body. Fortunately, the lion resisted the taunting and dance moves. Officials say this could have ended differently. calling the act a serious violation and unlawful trespassing. It's not clear why the woman was punished for the crime. Sportsman Warehouse is taking.
Okay, so maybe can anybody tell me what's the video about? Yes, do we?
I think it's like tourists
Tourists,
that
okay.
visit the zoo, and then he tries to play with the lion.
Mm-hmm.
But even though it's like a dangerous way to play with the animals because it's a wild animals, I think it's
Yes, that's right, yeah. So it is a video about a woman who trespassed the fence in the zoo. So she just would like to play with the real lion, which is quite dangerous. So that's why if you are going to work in travel operations or becoming a tour guide, it is very important to remind them that it is quite dangerous to jump into the fence. Okay, I believe whenever you are going to see the things in the zoo, yeah, I believe some of you actually have seen this one previously. Okay, can anybody tell me what is it?
Science. It's like do and don'ts in like in zoo.
Yeah, it is a science about do and don'ts in doing in the zoo. Okay, can anybody tell me about this one? What is it?
Do not feed the animals.
Do not feed the animals. Okay, good. How about the second one?
it's not to disturb the animal.
Yeah, it's not to disturb, yeah, the animal. And how about the last one?
Do not sit it
In the face.
Yeah, do not sit in the edge or on the fence itself. So this is some example of warning. So whenever you are going to visit any tourism destinations, you are going to see some warning signs of a death. So warnings actually a sign that indicates a hazardous situation, and if not avoided, the result can be fatal. What is hazardous? Dangerous, yeah? It is very dangerous and it could be fatal. Fatal means that it could make someone die or have a victims because of it. So therefore, most of warning sign, it is going to be in the red color. Meanwhile, for caution, it is the same like warning. It also indicates a dangerous but slightly minor. Yeah. So it will cause only a minor or moderate injury only. For example, like wet floor. For example, yeah, if you have visit some pool, there are some standing caution sign saying that wet or slippery floor. So that's why it is called as caution. It is just can cause a minor injury. Meanwhile, for the last one, it is called as notice. Notice sign indicates a special condition. So it is not going to be having some injury or damage, but maybe it can create some conflict or potential risk, especially when you are entering special places like temple, mosque, or culture places. Okay. For this one, do you have any questions? It's quite clear, yeah? Okay. Now, let's try to figure out on how to explain the travel policy. So actually, there are two kinds of language expressions that we can use when we are going to explain the travel policy. The first one is called as required action, and the second one is called as restricted actions. Can anybody tell me what is required action? Yes, Louis?
Maybe to Indonesian.
Yes, it's okay.
Jadi required itu sebagai permintaan kayak kebijakan permintaan, terus kalau restrict itu kondisi dari zoo-nya gitu.
Okay, give applause for me. So required is something that you need to be done, ya. Jadi sesuatu yang Anda perlu lakukan, gitu, atau tidak perlu Anda lakukan. Meanwhile, restricted itu sesuatu yang Anda wajib ketahui sebagai bentuk larangan. Gitu. Jadi ada beberapa peraturan yang perlu dilakukan dan dilarang untuk dilakukan. Alright, so whenever you are going to explain it, yeah, this is some example of the required actions. So whenever you are going to explain the required actions, you can use you are required to, you need to, you should, or please in here. For example, can you see this one?
Yes.
Yes, okay, maybe I can try to play it first. Hold on. Alright, so I have played these presentations. Yeah. And this is the example of required actions, yeah? So I will repeat one more time. So this is the example of required actions. You can use you are required to, you need to, you should, or please as the example of language expressions in English to show about the required actions to our tourists. For example, like this. Can you see this picture?
Yes.
Okay, can you see the words inside the white box?
Yes.
Yeah, what is it?
Alas kaki.
Alas kaki.
Yeah.
Okay, alas kaki dan topi harap dilepas. So now, could you please anybody try to use English explaining those by using these statements? Okay, Tasya.
Please take off your shoes and hat.
Okay, please take off your shoes and hat. Thank you very much. Anybody else? Fonzie?
You should take off your slipper and hat.
Okay, you should take off your slippers and hat. Anybody? Maybe Louis?
You are required to take off your shoes and hat.
Okay, you are required to take off your shoes and hat. Very good, yeah? Meanwhile, for the example from me, ladies and gentlemen, so make sure that you greet, yeah? You greet the tourists first. Before we enter the vihara, you are required to take off your hat and shoes. Okay, everybody's got the correct statement. Thank you very much. And for this one, can anybody try? Give me some example. Yeah, Fia?
You should.
Yeah, you should.
Use the mask.
Yeah, you should use the mask or you should wear the mask. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, please wear your mask properly while walking around this area. Thank you very much, Fia. And now, this is the example of restricted one. So whenever you are going to say no to some actions, especially if it is dangerous, you need to say you are not allowed to, it is prohibited to, or you are restricted to, or please do not do something. So, which means that it is restricted or prohibited to be conducted in any tourist destinations. For example, before we have seen this picture. What does it mean? Okay, can anybody try to give some explanations? Fonzie?
You are not allowed to feed the animals here.
Perfect! You are not allowed to feed the animals here. Good. Anybody else? Tasha again?
It is prohibited to feed our animals.
Yes, it is prohibited to feed our animal. Okay, meanwhile, from me, the example is, alright everyone, so remember to greet someone first. We arrive at the wild boar cage. Please do not feed the animal due to their health. So this is the example of the restricted actions. Next, what is it? The picture of camera crossed. Yes, Yuna?
Please don't take.
Please do not take a picture. Thank you very much, Yuna. That's pretty good. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. So attention, ladies and gentlemen, you are not allowed to take any picture in this area. So this is some of the example of how to say the restricted actions. Until this part, do you have any questions before we have speaking practice?
Yes, sir. How to make difference between question and warning or not warning?
Cautions and notice.
Notice.
Yeah, it depends on the action itself and also the impact. If notice, it is not going to harm or damage you, especially for physical conditions. Meanwhile, for cautions, it will cause you some minor accidents or minor harm or damage. Okay. Thank you very much, Fonzie, for the questions. And for the others, do you have any question? It's pretty clear. Okay, thank you very much. And now let's have some speaking practice. So please prepare yourself because we are going to visit the zoo. I would like to invite one person to begin. Anybody want to try? Okay. Tasha or Dwi? Okay, so Dwi. Okay, please kindly come forward. Alright. So please kindly stand over there. So imagine all of your friends is your clients for the first group. Alright. First.
So I need to speak that.
Yeah. Okay, good.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, please stand up and queue at the line that already made to protect the distance of each other.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Please remember, you need to mention about the Safari 18 first. Okay, thank you very much, but it's fine. Thank you, Dwi. Next, you choose. You decide. Anyone?
Evita.
Evita. Okay, please come forward, Evita. For the second case. Yeah.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, now we are arrived at Monkey Cage. Please remember, do not touch the animal and do not cross over the fence. Thank
Oh,
you.
nice. Please choose. Abin. Please come forward, Abin. Alright. You are in the exercise zone. Okay, please. What is binatang buas? It's wild animal. Yeah.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, now we are arrived at reptile zone, and give a warning for you guys, because there are wild animals in there.
Okay. Cheers, Abin. Yuna. Okay.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, now we are arrived at farm animal area, and for your safety, please do not sit over the edge, please.
Okay, good. Thank you very much. Yuna, choose for the last one. Yano. Okay, please Yano. Okay.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are arrived at fish pond. Do not
Feet.
do not feed the fish
Or throw.
or throw anything to the pond.
Okay. Yano, you may take a seat. Thank you. Wow, I believe that many of you have already understand, yeah, about how to mention or explain the travel policy, especially if when you are entering the zoo. Okay, this is such a practice for your listening, but for your speaking. Now let's have a quiz time. Please can you join our quiz in this code? Yeah. Okay, the code is 3139985. Okay, I will give you some seconds to join. All right. So there are some of you have already joined the quiz. Thank you very much. All right. I think everybody is ready, right? Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's get started. Okay, have you done everyone?
Yes.
Okay, let's end the quiz ya. Okay, let's wait for a moment. Congratulations to Dwi, Pete, and Tasya. Okay, yes.
Yay.
Yes, of course. I have prepared for some reward ya for Tasya,
Thank you.
Dwi, and Ervita.
Thank you,
very
sir.
much. Alright, so wow, that's a really good one, yeah. Okay, most of you can answer it very well. Thank you very much. And for some students, you still need to learn more, yeah, about this. Thank you. Okay, so before we end our class today, I think, yeah, I would like to share some assignment for you. This is going to be for our next week discussion. Please kindly find 2 cautions or restrictions in 2 different tourism destinations. So you need to visit the destinations and then provide the identity of tourism destination where you found the cautions or restrictions, including the name or the locations of the tourist destination. And then make a short video of you on explaining the travel policy on the tourism destination in front of the site. And make sure that you submit it via WhatsApp group before next meeting. Okay, is there any question about it? It is enough. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. I think that's all for today. Thank you very much for attending